and this is it for them. They don't have access to great wealth, the kind of resources they're going to need to rebuild their businesses. Because all along the Jersey Shore, you see these, you see the arcades, you see this and that, but they're all owned by it's a lot of mom and pop stuff. So, I mean, this is just heartbreaking to see this.
It certainly is. You know, you talk about the economic impact, Wall Street back up and running, but then what happens to all of these owners and the workers, too, that make their living on the Jersey Shore? Much work will need to be done, and we'll hear from the governor later on, too.
People seem to get very emotional when they talk about the Jersey Shore. Well, clearly, many people have great memories of the Jersey Shore, and so much effort went into rebuilding so many places after Hurricane Irene, only to have it washed away literally, 13 months later.
I know. Well, you got to remember, it's home to so many people, and it's a second home to so many more, and it's a destination for millions. I mean, it's a destination spot for a good part of the country, so there's familiarity with it, and that's why when the governor says people his age, it's never going to be the same. And you can open the history books and you can look at the storm of 54 and 44 and 62 and some storms in the 80s where there was damage, but it was the record low pressure and the surge and the wind that's done, in many cases, unprecedented damage because it was never as developed as it was in this moment of time, that moment when the storm hit, 2 days ago. But, I mean...
that's a good point you make because, I remember going down there as a kid. It definitely wasn't built up as it is today. It certainly has changed, and so many more businesses are now in place. But you have so many memories of growing up and going down to the Jersey Shore, especially over the summer times, and, spending time with your friends and having a great time. So, when Governor Christie was talking about it, so many people could understand what he is saying because so many people had a lot of great times down at the Jersey Shore.
It's funny, too. You can talk to people that aren't old, they're just a little more seasoned, and they'll say there's a dividing line too to when they put the parkway in. As soon as they put the parkway in, as soon as it was easier to get from north to south and close to the shore, it just kind of erupted with all kinds of development and more tourist-like spots. And yesterday, I got to tell you, watching Chris Raggy in Spring Lake, that's where we go. We try to sneak down at least twice a year, and we know this place and that place, and you see places that are gone.
And John, you were watching as they were rebuilding that boardwalk there too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was on the new boardwalk. I was telling my daughter, look what a great job they did with it. And then yesterday you see there's cement. That's all that's left.
And they used the best materials. In that area because they were concerned it could happen again, and that's been destroyed. And now you look at this and
what might need to be done. Some of the steel that's still sticking up that used to support a pier on which this amusement park rested, but the pier's no more.
Well, it is interesting, too, the roller coaster. It looks like the Ferris wheel is still level to where it was, but all the wood underneath it has been blown back closer to the buildings. But this, that fell right through, because that's resting on the floor of the ocean there, the big roller coaster. Very, very interesting, but tragic. I mean, you can analyze it and you can talk scientifics and specifics, but that's of no meaning to the people whose livelihoods have been affected and the other people who love this spot.
Well, we know the president and Governor Christie will be touring this part of the state and others later on today. Federal assistance clearly is going to be required.
When you look at the before and afters, too, you just can't believe the change in those communities. And I guess the question